Welcome to the first Fireside chat. As always, I'm DM Ryan, and joined with me is the usual players.
Jordan.
Matthew.
And we have our first guest with us for the Fireside chat. She will appear in the second episode, so look forward to that. Her name is
Madison.
First thing that we're going to talk about is the rules. We kind of wanted a really simple, watered-down tabletop game, because we're going to be drinking as we play. And we were like, what are the main essential things of like Dungeons and Dragons? And our first rule is, since this is, we turned it into a drinking game. We decided that you drink on 20s and 1s. So you drink on criticals. So we made up the classes as we go along. It's really like, as the name of the podcast implies, Loosey Goosey. We make up skills, the classic spells from the different classes in Dungeons and Dragons, and we kind of made it our own. Some of the different rules that we do is that there's a room DC, and the room DC is just a number set, and we have to roll higher than that to do any task.
And the DC stands for difficulty class.
Yes. And instead of initiative roll, we have what's called reaction rolls. And the person who rolls the highest starts, and then we just go around the table. It's super simple.
And you also have it set up so you're not really GMing, so you can play at the same time, right?
Yes. I am I'm both the DM and a player.
And we are co-DMs.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to jump in and like add anything, or some sessions I won't be running it. Some sessions Jordan or Matt might be running, or we might get a guest DM to come in and do something. Who knows? Oh, the pantheon of this campaign is called, they're called the gods of humor. We got the god of puns, the god of dirty jokes, and so on.
What about Dionysus? Oh my god. The god of drinks.
Dionysus?
Is the god of drinks not? Yeah.
No.
Was he not invited?
No, it's just...
not for a drinking game, he wasn't invited?
No, it's just humor.
He wasn't funny enough.
He thinks he's funny after a couple drinks.
That doesn't make him funny.
Yeah, it ended up being like he's just that really annoying drunk guy, so they didn't really want him around.
Kind of guy that would just randomly break out a bassoon in the middle of the night and start playing it.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Like, what? You wanted to sleep? No, more drinking. Always more drinking.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, can you think of anything else that we really kind of just made up for this?
Well, basically the way our skills work, since we're not going to be using any modifiers, is that if one of our characters can do like a general skill better than other characters, so, for like the wild type characters, tracking or kind of, judging a scene or something like that, they'll get advantage on that roll.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd like to add is we have something called an Adventurer's Pack, which has 5 uses, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah.
The Adventurer Pack, basically, we can have 5 items in our backpack, and we can declare them whenever we pull or use the item, whether it be a torch, whether it be a ladder. It could be just about anything. It's really.
Do you have a ladder in your pack?
I'm not saying if I.
You could have a rope ladder.
Whether I have
a rope ladder, I guess.
Yeah, it's basically you have an item that has 5 uses, and it's an adventuring pack. And so, like, say, I need a torch for this cave. I'm gonna use one of the 5 adventuring pack.
I just put it as
like
item.
a charge.
Yeah, charge. Yeah, use like one of the charge of the adventurer's pack to get the torch out. Just like I said, we're trying to keep it like really super simple.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
Another thing also with the pantheon of humor that we're dealing with, we're kind of don't really know what our relationship is, but the god of puns is very heavily entwined with the play of this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so if one of us makes like an exceptional pun or something like that, then we'll all decide whether or not the god of puns grants that particular player a boon. And this boon of puns can be exchanged for advantage on a future roll.
And random laughter.
Yes, there will also be a laugh track that will play at the whatever time that player chooses.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was whenever the boon was spent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is it whenever?
When the boon was spent, the laughter happens.
Okay,
so it can
cool.
be in a very serious moment, or it can be in a funny moment.
And I
There are no restrictions.
Yeah, it could be
am
like
providing the laugh track.
like a staring contest with a giant, and you decide to have advantage. And you're just staring this giant down, and you hear just laughter.
From the heavens.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be pulling that up for whenever we do anything. One night we just decided to drink and play this really watered down version of Dungeons and Dragons. And about halfway through playing, we decided to start recording. You can actually check those out. They'll be called like episode 0 probably.
Yep.
the pilot.
But if you don't want to sit through that and listen to it because it's terrible audio, and we
Still good
we
story,
started it off drunk.
It was. There are some very great moments in there, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
there's some great moments.
So if you want more of our content, check it out. But like I said, we apologize for the horrible audio.
Last minute decisions while drunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because we even had a recap of what we didn't record.
Yeah, because we didn't start recording until like
Halfway through.
like an hour in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shoot.
That was an interesting night when I was writing that. Like I biked back home and then I was like falling asleep and typing, and I woke up the next morning and realized that so many words I had typed out were like gibberish almost. I was
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
I listened to the entire 3 hours of it before going to bed.
Yeah. Did you?
It was like 4 in the morning when I.
So, our characters, we used WTF is my Dungeons and Dragons character to like randomly generate our characters. Mine was a dwarf paladin whose family was killed by gelatinous cubes, and now I have a phobia of jelly and jelly-like things.
Oh yes. Lear is a half-elk ranger, and he hails from the hold of a slave ship, and he has no concept of personal space.
My character is Hawken, and he is a half-orc monk who is impatient, and he's from the Underdark. He was petrified there for over 2,000 years, I believe it was?
200.
200 years. So, he's an interesting character.
Yes. So yeah, that's how we came up with our characters, and I basically dropped them off in the middle of the woods, and
No survival gear.
yeah.
No, we were still allowed our adventure backpack.
Yeah,
to drink
yeah.
my own urine.
Okay.
Just for that of it.
You lick trees. I don't want to hear it.
Oh yeah. I licked all the
kind
honeydew off my tent.
That's a spoiler. You might want to edit that out.
It's okay. And then the first town that they went to, they couldn't really see what the town's name was on the map, and so they went up to the sign, and it read shithole. Hulkin went to the sign and read it out loud, shithole, and the town.
Shittle.
Yeah, and the town guard kind of cleared his throat and was like, "It's pronounced shithole." And so there's tons of poop jokes and fart jokes throughout the town. There was a bar with a...
It's the Dripping Dog Inn.
Yes, I said
The
it.
official name.
Yeah, I said it wrong like 4 times when we actually did it. But and inside there was a female dwarf named Agatha, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and a serving girl named Christy, and Hulkin thoroughly embarrassed himself in front of her multiple times. He lost an arm wrestling competition. What else?
He tried to
ran
sit
into a
down
wall.
in his chair.
Yeah, I tried to sit out of my chair and
And
I
it
broke
just
it.
broke.
Yeah, and and the mayor was drunk,
Yes.
and he was in the bar so often they like put the mayor's plaque on his bar stool as his office. His office was the bar.
Might as well be there.
I know.
It wasn't just that. Didn't he also have his desk in there too?
No.
I thought he
I
did.
thought I remembered him having his desk.
Yeah, because that's
Maybe.
when I ran into the wall.
Maybe.
Because
And
yeah,
we
he did. He did because you followed me. Because I was like, okay, we need to find a job or something.
And we threw
And he
Horaxis
gave
on
us
his
something.
desk.
It's like, it's over there, and I immediately took off and ran into the wall.
Okay, yeah.
So his yeah, because Christy saw
Okay.
that it was in the bar.
Yes, that's right.
So yes, he
That's
did.
right.
He does have his desk in the bar too.
A special desk.
It's like out probably in the corner. Oh, and Lear.
Lear killed a guy.
Yeah, yeah. he threw up
I
on
don't
him.
remember that.
He threw up on him and it like clogged his nose.
Oh, gosh, yes, I remember that
And
now.
killed him. And I think the reason was because he like crit failed twice.
I crit failed twice.
Yes, it's.
So I killed a drunk. I killed a passed out drunk by vomiting up his nose. Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you don't know any
happens.
personal space, so it kind of makes sense.
It happens.
Yeah.
But after that, we went into a cobalt cave, killed some kobolds, and there was a winged cobalt named
Horaxis.
Yes, which is a reference to Temple of the Lava Bears, and you should definitely go check that podcast out.
It was very formative for me.
Yes. And, and also Lear got a magic apple that I have yet to come up with a magic
But
property
Didn't
for it.
you take like a little nibble of it or something?
I scraped some of the skin off of my teeth.
Okay.
I felt a little tingle.
Yeah.
And then I took the whole apple and I just impaled it on one of my antlers for safekeeping. And it hasn't gone bad yet since it's a magical apple. So
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
I still have it on there.
That reminds me of a story where they transformed a girl into an apple, so just be careful with things that say they're magical.
Is that Heckity
It
Peg?
could be something you don't expect.
Yes.
I guess we'll find out.
Well, this is all from another campaign that Ryan runs.
Yeah, I'll probably edit that
Speaking
out.
of, we need to do that campaign again sometime.
I know.
I wanna
There's
be
been
a bunny
something-
I know,
again.
we all have been.
Let's see. And then we killed Horaxis, brought him back to the mayor.
Kobold!
And we got a reward and left, and we got attacked by wolves, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that was the end of the episode 0 content. All right. Well, thanks for listening to our first Fireside chat. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Cheers.